So hi guys, I'm back in Portland. I hope everyone had a good holiday season wherever you were and however you celebrated. If you didn't celebrate, I was out of town quite a bit the last couple of weeks. I went up to Seattle to see some family, spend some time up there. But back now. It's cold out, but I wanted to talk to you guys about a couple of things out here. That's why I'm outside. On a bridge, on one of the bridges here in, well, near downtown Portland. But I want to talk to you about that in a minute. Let me first talk to you about this tobacco I'm smoking. Yeah, so it's kind of windy out today, so it's not the best place to smoke a pipe, but this proves to me, perhaps to you, about this tobacco and how well it burns. It can keep up with all the weather that's going on out here. It doesn't burn too fast, doesn't burn too hot, it stays lit. Yeah, so let me show you what I'm smoking. I thought it was fitting to smoke out here on the bridge and talk to you guys about the bridges of Portland. So I'm smoking Bridge Mixture by Cornell Diehl. Another good blend by Cornell and Diehl. But this is an interesting one. Many of you may be aware of a nut mixture called Bridge Mixture, which I think traditionally they ate while they were playing the card game Bridge. But it has a mixture of all kinds of different nuts. I'm not sure all the nuts that go into it, but it's a wide variety. So that's what they're trying to get at with this, I think. This tobacco is interesting in the fact that there's just about every kind of tobacco in here that you could imagine. It's a mixture, a sampling of different types of tobacco. Let me read what it says. It says it's a sophisticated crossover blend of bright and red Virginias, spiced with Turkish, Latakia, Perique, Cavendish, and a touch of dark-fired Kentucky. And they say the dark-fired Kentucky is a 20-year dark-fired Kentucky, so that's a Burley. So, and the Cavendish, I think they said was a red Virginia unsweetened Cavendish. So it's a really interesting blend. It has many different interesting tobacco leaves in it, and that leads to an interesting type of smoke, because as you light it up, you really get the sweetness right away. There's plenty of Virginias in here to just make the whole blend kind of always come back to a sweetness. So as you go down the bowl, you have sweetness, and then you pick up some of the Perique, and it gets spicy, and then you pick up notes of the Kentucky, and then you have even some earthy notes for a moment, and then it goes back to sweetness, and that's how it goes all the way down the bowl. it truly is a mixture of flavors, and it never stops. It just keeps going from one type of flavor to the other, and it's very well blended. Of course, the majority of leaf in here, I think, are the Virginias. And let me show you. I think you'll agree. So it's a quite bright blend, so you can see the Virginias very well. And I think there's just a subtleness of the Latakia and a little bit of Perique. You don't need much. So let me show you this. So you see how it's quite bright. So that's what you mainly get, is the sweetness of the Virginias. And then there's an interplay back and forth between sweetness and the other leaves. The dark-fired Kentucky, the Perique, the Latakia, they all have an interplay with the sweetness of the Virginias. But what I like about the blend is you're always coming back to the sweetness that's there in the Virginia. So the blend stays on the sweet side all the way through. Not sweet like an aromatic sweet, but sweet like a good natural Virginia. This is a natural tobacco, so they don't need to sweeten it. It has enough sweetness on its own, but it also has a little something, I think, for everyone. It has the dark-fired Kentucky, the Latakia for those that really like the English-style blends, and the Perique, which interplays with the Virginia for those that really like the Virginia Perique blends. And it just kind of goes back and forth down through the bowl, so you get a little bit of everything in one bowl, and I really like that. I think that's interesting for a tobacco. It's interesting for this blend, and so it's a coarse cut, and it smokes well, it packs well, it burns well. It's not hot at all. It's not harsh. I don't get any bite at all with this blend, but of course with the Virginia blend, you always have to keep in mind that if you go really hard on a Virginia, it can get a little bitey, a little sharp on you. But I think with the other tobaccos in this blend, it kind of harnesses back the Virginias from doing that, and so I haven't gotten any bite from the Virginia or harshness at all while I'm smoking it. So I think it's an interesting one. I think many people would like this because of the variety that's in there. I think it kind of opens itself up to whatever type of pipe smoker that that we tend to be, whether you like the Virginias or the Kentuckys or the Periques. Yeah, so it's an interesting blend. It's a good blend. Yeah, so if it sounds good, you should give it a shot. I think you'll like it. But I'm talking too much, and it's windy out here, and my pipe's going out. But I wanted to talk to you real quick just about bridges here in Portland. Portland is known for being a bridge city. That's one of the things that Portland is known for. There are many things, perhaps good or bad. But yeah, Portland is called a bridge city. And there are over a dozen bridges that cross the river here, going from north to south in Portland. I'm not going to talk about each one. I'm going to, I think, leave a link or two to some links in case anyone's interested in reading more about the bridges. But most of the bridges here in Portland were, a good majority of them were built between 1900 or 1910, 1920s. In there were quite a few bridges built at that time. And if you go back before that, well, quite a bit before that, this river here was only passable by ferry, and there are a couple spots where where a ferry, a small ferry, would move people and perhaps small vehicles across. At that time, it was mostly horse-drawn vehicles, but in the early 1900s, they began building bridges. The bridge I'm on here is the main bridge going into downtown that splits north and south. It's this called Burnside Bridge. I think it was built in 1926. So it's not one of the earliest bridges, but it's a beautiful bridge, and many of these bridges are in some manner a drawbridge to let ships go in and out through here from the main river down into the different ports that you find here in Portland. Yeah, sorry about all the traffic. I know there's a lot of traffic going across the bridge here. It's noisy and perhaps windy. Don't know how well you can hear me, but yeah. So, like I said, this is the bridge and the street that divides Portland into north and south. So everything behind me is north Portland. Everything in front of me is south, and so the streets are divided that way and sectioned off into north and south. And then also the river divides Portland into west on this side and east over there. So you have northwest, northeast, southeast, southwest, and it's all divided right here on this bridge. So yeah, so Portland is famous for its bridges, not because perhaps they're the most beautiful in the world, but they all have a unique history and a unique architecture to them. Behind me, you can see hopefully a couple of bridges. The largest in the background, if you can see it, is the Fremont Bridge. That's the most northern bridge in the city here. There's another bridge or two. There's two more bridges beyond that are just outside of the city. So the Fremont Bridge, and then the Broadway Bridge, and the Steel Bridge you can see behind me. And then there's a couple more bridges just to the south of here. But yeah, anyways, I guess that's it for today. Don't want to stay out here too much longer. It's cold, and I need to head to work. So hope you guys are finding something good to smoke, some time to sit and relax with a pipe. Hope you're doing well, and hope you guys are beginning a good new year for you, for your families. So take care, enjoy a good bowl, and we'll see you again.